Good morning, everyone. This is Bremster, and today I'm going to start having a look at some more stuff in blueprints. I've made a bit of a list as to stuff that I might want to look at. I'm hoping my microphone is working. So this is by no means comprehensive because I've had no time to go back and look at the my previous streams or anything. But I have put some thought into the way that I might want spoilers for things to investigate. At this point, what I'd be interested in is if people found things in my streams that they thought I should investigate, that would be cool to post, but I don't want people pulling things in from elsewhere. The things that I've got that I'd kind of like to investigate are how does the chess pieces work and what do they mean? What the details from the archive. There was all of those notes from the archive and everything. That was on a previous stream and I did bookmark it while I was reading it. The statue in the courtyard, there was a mention of that and the fact that that had been changed. What did that mean? I need to find the reference to that. The windows in the chapel with the different angels and the numbers, what were these? Find and open all the safes. So there were supposed to be 8 safes. The message from the art positions was, if we count small gates, 8 dates crack 8 safes, of which I've only found the boudoir, the office, the study, and the small gate. So there's 4 more to find. Power and use the machine in the laboratory, which will mean connecting the boiler room up to the laboratory. And I know there's other things that the boiler room does power. How does the candle room in the basement work? What were the vault keys? I got to what I thought was the vault with some vault keys, but none of the doors opened. Maybe I was jumping the gun because I was worried I was running out of steps, but I will be able to get back there, I'm assuming. Light up all 4 of the blue flames. I don't know how to do that because there wasn't one near the shed that was open with the garage. So I only found 2 of the valves so far. And drain the aquarium and see what was in there, because I could see that the aquarium was one of the locations in the pump room. Keith also submitted some stuff on the previous video, was in the rotating room. How do you get to the upper rooms? I don't think I picked the up rotating room, but he may have meant the mirror room. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm remembering that wrong. Finding the catacombs. So in the map, there was a catacombs area. So I need to figure out how to access that because the door was blocked. How do you get to the boat? I agree. There's something there. Who is the author of the red letters? I remember there was a mention of there being 8 different authors, so I'm not sure how that works. And why are some walls different colors or textures if there's no mechanic for using a sledgehammer or dynamite? I agree, there must be some way of picking up the dynamite or something. Or there must be, but it feels like there should be. So they're the notes from Keith. Some of the other, Keith left some other notes as well, but they were kind of bundled into the ones that I'd already noted, so I didn't repeat. So I've made an extra tab in my tracking document, or a new section, a new tab in my tracking document, and then I'm going to go in and this day I'm just going to refamiliarize myself. So I'm just going to make a note here of day 21 is at about 3:30. Hey, Chip. Now I'm going to give up some steps because I am going to go and I'm going to activate you lose a bunch of steps doing this. Shelter protects you from the negative effects of the next 3 red rooms. The tool shed with 2 special items. Make an offering, receive a blessing. I gotta do that, don't I? Except I don't have anything to offer. I don't have 2 coins. So, okay. That's something to note for future. I'm going to give up a bunch of steps. Because what I'm going to have to do is go back to the house, get my allowance. So always get your allowance before you come here. I'm losing so many steps. But steps is rarely my issue. And now I go back. I'm going to be like 55 steps before I'm done. There have been a couple of patches to fix some save game bugs and to fix some of the rooms were harder to draft than they expected. So Blessing of the Dancer. While drafting, you may pay gems to spin floor plans? Wow. Yeah, I'm aware of that, but the guest bedroom is a dead end. So I do want to go into lots of different rooms and figure out what in rooms is worth investigating. So at this point, I'm paying a bit more attention to all sorts of things, I think. Like, the time seems to advance. Like, it's already, like, 8 something. It's very, very strange. I can't remember what I put in the coat check. There's nothing in the coat check. I don't think I need anything more from the library. I could be wrong about that, actually. I think there was one more book. Yeah, I think there was one more book. This is the problem with having taken a break. So I am going to draft the library. Yeah, the history of Orindia. So I'm going to put reading the history of Orindia is going to be at about 7:30. So it's been checked out by a few different people. A bunch of detectives. The History of Orindia, 2nd edition. This book was reviewed and cleared for publication by the Fen Aries Central Board of Education. It has been edited to conform to our department standards, including the omission of sections deemed inaccurate or unsuitable for public dissemination. By Caleb Manning. What? Do I need to have the magnifying glass to read this? Forward. Redacted, the name used to designate the realms of eastern waters. Redacted is no longer redacted known to the average citizen. Lots of redacted. Elder generation. Redacted, we must permit our leaders to enjoin us to abandon redacted our parts. What? Azera. Most historians mark the beginning of the First Era, often denoted as Azera, by the ascension of the first king, redacted, whose name is Oris. Would later grace the burgeoning township in which he was crowned. Oris was known before his coronation as a prominent merchant lord of considerable means and affluence, whose sway in the region made him the ideal candidate for the unification of surrounding provinces. Regrettably, history is not always forthcoming, and the surviving records of those bygone days are mostly limited to trade agreements and sales receipts. Nevertheless, we can deduce from these ledgers that Oris had but one aim: expansion. The territory spread forth from the heart of Oris. By the end of the 1st century, I can't tell if this is going to be readable with a magnifying glass. I doubt it. Lots of redacted stuff. A new kingdom was born. 2. 2nd Era. It was the 4th king, redacted, who split this vast domain in 3 equal shares. 3 realms for his 3 children. To the eldest he granted the fields and mountains of his great-grandfather, the middle province and heartspring of the kingdom. The eldest accepted the gift. Lots of redacted stuff. To the youngest he bestowed upon him the realm of Arch Ares, the land of the northern storms, a wild and untamed expanse, which at the time was not as developed but a good deal more vast than the elder brother's lot. And to his middle child, his only daughter, he gifted her the southern region of Arasia, a land something, a land steeped in tradition, redacted. The third era. As the second era drew to a close, the three sovereign realms had achieved a period of remarkable progress and prosperity. Each of these distinct regions ruled by their respective sibling monarchs had blossomed, cultivating the bountiful resources of their lands and developing a unique character and culture that set them apart from one another. Despite those differences, the sibling monarchs managed to maintain friendly relations throughout their lives and were known for their cooperation in matters of trade and transportation. The succeeding generations of their heirs continued that tradition, and the third era was defined by lots of redacted stuff. Commerce between the three realms further strengthening their bond and laying the foundation for the promise of a prosperous and bright future. Bunch of redacted stuff. The fourth era, oh my lord. As the kingdom redacted entered the fourth era, a different kind of ruler took the reins of power. King Dicelets III was lots of redacted stuff. King was often seen redacted, drinking something, a sight that shocked not only the gentry in the court, but the masses as well. Now there's a note here in the book. Baron Sinclair, thank you so much for your cooperation with our department in this investigation. We know our presence is never convenient. This is an insert into the book. A letter that has been left in the book. We know our presence is never convenient, especially for someone of your social status, so it means all the more that you are not only tolerant, but also willing to aid our efforts in getting this business done quickly as possible. We are returning, with this letter, the book that you lent us, though I must confess it was not as much help as I had hoped. I had heard that your library of rare and restricted books was quite extensive, and I was told by a reliable source that if a first edition, an uncensored copy of the history of Orindia could be found, it would likely be found within the Baron's own collection. But perhaps I was misinformed. Still, part of me thinks that you may have given me the censored copy as a jest, a taste, if you will, for the bureaucrat of their own medicine. If that is the case, then I say, well done, fair play. And perhaps on my next visit, we'll have a laugh about this after you have given me the actual manuscript. Until then, Detective Bon Margle, Redguard. So there may be a copy of... So this is something to add to the list. Is the history of Orindia. Is there a copy in the library? King blah 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 can't read the stuff behind the letter. These voices planted the seed which took part the guts city of Fen. 5. The era of ruining. After passing the passing of King Dicelets III, the fourth era came to an abrupt end. Thankfully, the king died. Redacted. On the very next day, the 6th of October, the Prince Lysan of Fen declared himself the true monarch. This declaration was bolstered by a number of supporters due to the fact that Desolat's Forge shared, redacted, little of his virtues. As the prospect of civil war seemed inevitable, the realm's regiments was but hastily recalled from the frontiers to stamp out and put an end to the Fensurrection. However, instead of restoring order, what ensued was a savage and merciless campaign against their own people. The gardens of Fen, once a centre of splendour, were transformed into a battlefield as the cries of the innocent echoed through the city streets, stained in red. The brutality of the pacification of Fen did not go unnoticed by neighbours. As sympathy for the city surged, allies came forward to lend support. Among them was the general of the Northern Regiment who, sickened by the barbaric actions of the other battalions, joined forces with Prince Lysan to form a formidable army. Together, they leveraged their political influence and favours to persuade the nearby realms of Arch Ares and Nuance to join their cause. Or is it Nuance? I can't tell. However, Even with the tide turning in their favour, victory did not come easy. The War of the Fifth Era lasted 22 long years and saw buried 1 in every 3 men. Prince Lysan himself added another number to the casualties. However, even in death, he had won. Horus had fallen, and with it, the realm. The black flags that had flown for 5 eras were burned, and in their place, red banners were hoisted in honour of the fallen Fen. The few remaining members of the former royal family fled in fear of their lives to the south, forever exiled. 6. The current era. Today, the realms inherited by the 3 Feneries, Arteries, and Eraja once again stand united as allies. Though the distance between our peoples has grown, our connection to this land remains as strong as ever. The spruce and birch that span across our realms serve as a constant reminder that we all share a common past. Lots of stuff redacted. For this is, despite everything else, a land rich in history, a land of myth and wonder, a land that sprung forth from the greatest empire the world has ever seen, the land of our fathers, our mothers, and of our children. Stuff redacted, redacted. Wow. So, is there a copy of this book somewhere here? Like, I've not seen any... I got my inheritance at 1614.51.5. I've only found 2 of the red letters. So in this after the thing, I might start noting things based on... First item checked was a magnifying glass. My favourite floor planes. Trading post. What? Most time spent in the library, security, and observatory. Okay. Contraptions I've made. Okay. Largest purchase. Keys, that makes sense. Stamp collection. That's looking over stamps with... Okay, that's worth noting. So... Stamp collection. So I have the Grand Realm of Feneries. Now, I believe if I look through my room notes, that came from the office. No, there was somewhere that I had this, but I may have deleted the note. I may have deleted the note. And this is the problem with doing it digitally, is when I think I'm done with something. And I think in order for the stamp collection to work, it needs to be read with a magnifier. And there are 1, 2, 3, there are 8 of them. So it's possibly stamps on the red letters. Observatory, maybe one day the shelter, most avoided floor plans, the bomb shelter, the servants' quarters, and the rotunda. Have I seen a rotunda? Okay. So there's a lot more to figure out here. And I wonder if that is a findable book. This is cray-cray. We can go this way. Study is a dead end. Bookshop. But I've got no money. But I might be able to get money. But I've not seen a bookshop before. And the bookshop has a chess piece. So the bookshop has a black bishop. I've not seen a bookshop before. Reddington Herald. A new clue sold out in hours. It should come as no surprise that the latest book from local author Marion Marigold is breaking literary records and making headlines even in absentia. The release of her new book, A New Clue, comes only 4 months after the distressful report of the author's mysterious and unexplained disappearance. Her current publisher has issued a statement debunking the conspiracy theories surrounding the book's recent announcement, stating, "The writing of the book was completed and well into the editing stages many months before the disappearance." In addition, the publisher has revealed that all of the proceeds from the first edition sales of A New Clue will be going to Lasting Hope, a non-profit organization that claims to provide resources and intel in the investigations of missing persons. Still, the timing and conveniently mysterious title of Marion's third book has left many cynics denouncing the book and her disappearance as a cheap publicity stunt. Detective Bon Margall, whom many theorize may have been the inspiration for A New Clue, was quoted only saying that the book was unintentionally accurate. Regardless of their opinions, fans, pundits, and cynics alike were standing together elbow to elbow in bookshop queues this morning, eager to get their hands on what may very likely be the last words ever published by the missing author. Lasting Hope. So if I go to after the credits and I make a section called Room Notes, we'll keep this heading 1, and then we go Bookshop, which we'll give a heading 2, and the Reddington Herald note about Marion Marigold's disappearance notes the proceeds of the sale of the first edition of A New Clue will be going to Lasting Hope. Hey, Plank Time. I thought I had a hotspot there for a second. Oh, it's just a bookshop. History of Orindia, first edition, 50 coins. A New Clue, 50 coins. So books to buy. History of Orindia, first edition, is 50 coins. coin cost. That's expensive. New clue is 50 coins. The Curse of Black Bridge is 40. Realm and Rune is 20. Drafting Strategy Volume 4 is 8, and Drafting Strategy Volume 5 is 8. Now, the first drafting strategy I saw, let me see if I can find out which one it was. I need to go to my playlist and try and find the video in which I was reading Drafting Strategy Volume 3 was the first one. The one that was checked out at the library. So books purchased, and then books purchased in the library, purchased in the bookshop, will be permanently added to the library for checking out. This takes forever. Well, there's the guest bedroom. Yeah, I'll take the steps. So the guest bedroom, which I don't think I've been to for a while. Yeah, guest bedroom has a white pawn. I don't know how to investigate. I don't mind. I really don't mind slight pointers. Like, is something actually a mystery or not is not something I'm going to mind. Like, if you've seen someone solve a mystery, I don't necessarily want the solution, but knowing something is a mystery is potentially information that would be good to have. Because it's very hard to know. But the bookshop was a cool find, but need to get the bookshop again. So it's possible the bookshop can only come off the library. So the question is, how many coins can I get to be able to buy some of these books? Well, none of this is great. Let's get the closet, potentially dead end myself. This could take a very long time. I don't know that this is going to be a game I play quite as much as you might think. So I might rotate that to that. Oh, it's a random rotate. But yeah. Cool feature. anything in this room for me? There was a white pawn, but I've already got that. Let's get the spare room out of the way. This is not going well. Let's go into the bedroom. Is the hats a thing? This is something else to notice. So I need to note, get all the books from the bookshop. And then, is the hats a thing? Is another question to get answered. Now, I think I've got the chess pieces from the bedroom. I do. White pawn in the bedroom. And there's the greetings from Reddington, but I don't know if that's doing anything. I'm not finding many items. I still feel like this is something. Like the scratches indicate that this could be openable in some way, but the boudoir is going to give me 2 re-roll dice. I'll take it. And I think it also gives me a gem, because the boudoir safe, if I go to, is 1... And there was no stamp on this letter. But that's letter 4. So now it's back to the dining room and head north. I'll take the chapel. I've got no money, so I can't lose any money I don't have. It'd be nice if you kept the access to the basement vault. But this is going to be locked again, and I don't have the key card, and this will... Oh no, this is still open. That's cool. And that's still open as well. So I don't need to resolve this puzzle. That's good. But one of the things Keith mentioned was these different shapes of walls. It kind of feels like the dynamite should do something there, doesn't it? It's possible you need to use the pump room. I think this was how I accessed the vault. Because last time I was running so low on steps and I was so excited to try and get to the final room that I was a little bit rushy. These doors aren't interactable to even have keys. And that opens the door to room 46, which I don't care about anymore. This doesn't actually feel like the vault though. Like if you look on the security camera, it's probably the entrance at the other end of this that was the vault door. So what does that get me to? Is that just a dead end one? So that's just a dead end one? No, there is something hidden here. Ooh. Nice. Scripts and Rudford Mining Corporation, Excavation Department, Foreman's Log 608. After 3 years in the tunnels, SNR has informed me that we will be closing the site in June. It has been a somewhat bittersweet experience working on such a historically significant excavation over the past 30-odd months, and yet being unable to share any of the work with the world. Maybe one day. Still, there is a significant amount of work that is yet to be done, and it is vitally important that we conclude our efforts in the main cavern and reinforce structural integrity of the site before we seal the tunnels next month. It may be generations before they are reopened. So, in the vault room... So this is the vault, so basement. So basement goes over bookshop. I'm going to try and be a little bit consistent here. Basement. Hidden room. Filing cabinet. Keyholes with diamonds around them. Not sure what that is. But that's a shortcut in. But that also may be used to get into like if we raise this, this may allow us to access other locations. So there may be more to the puzzle. If we come through here. This allowed us to raise that. But I don't know what we can now do, because we're now trapped. So this is confusing to me. Why give us the ability to raise and lower when we're immediately trapped? How do... Because if we raise this, it's immediately in the wrong position. So there's got to be something going on here I don't understand. But we can't get past the cart here. So in order to get into that area, we need to go through the well. Okay. Or be able to cross the lake, which may mean draining the lake. But, okay, we found something new. So hard to know what means anything. Ooh. Ooh, reading nook. 100 bells. So in the basement, there is a hidden... So the hidden room is off the rotating room, but in the basement storage area, hidden reading nook, card with a pot on a pedestal, with 100 bells title and handwritten note, Sandy Heights, 5 p.m. And I am going to screenshot that. So I want my history so I can try and load the Blueprints journal. After the credits, down to here, and then I take a screenshot. And then I have to reset my view so I can see everything. So. Glad I found the hidden reading nook. Think that's everything. Antechamber entry controls. So one is in the underground, one is in the great... I made that too small. One is in the Great Hall, one is in the Secret Garden. So the underground one we found, that's in the vault. The Secret Garden one we found, the greenhouse one we found, didn't find the one in the Great Hall. There is so much going on. Okay, let's collapse the basement and the bookshop, because I'm not looking at those at the moment. Oh, I've trapped myself because I can't go north because I don't have a key card. I forgot the north door. Oh no, I can go through the chapel. It is so easy to trap yourself. I'm going to take the hallway to get a key. Now I'm going to take the pantry to get some money. And steps. Keith mentioned he thought there might be something to do with all the ladders. I'm not sure. The drawing room, I think, is a good choice here. Although the den will get me a gem and give me just as many options. So I'm going to pick the den. Now, some people have questioned what the heck is going on with the clocks. Like, do you need to be at the den at a particular time? Like, did I need to be here an hour ago? And if you click on these clocks at a particular time, because you'll notice that the arrows like that could be a thing. I think I've got the chess piece noted for the den. Yeah, I do. I might take the... Oh, no, the East Wing Hall will dead end. So let's just take the patio. Below. Yeah, great. Thanks. I get the reset mechanic, but something to be a little bit more efficient. Being able to find items would be useful. This doesn't dead end. And I think I can't remember who said it. I keep wondering whether this is anything, and there's more to the dartboard than just the math problem. Plus 4. 18 minus 10 is 8, minus 3 is 5, times 2 is 10. 6 minus 3 is 3, times 5 is 15, divided by 15 is 1. 1 plus 4 is 5, minus 1 is 4, times 1 is 4, minus 1 is 3. It was divided by 1. 4, 18, minus 10, minus 3 is 5, times 2 is 10. 6 minus 3 is 3, times 5 is 15, divided by 15 is 1. 1 plus 4 is 5. So this is just 4. 4 times 1 is 4, divided by 1 is 4. Courtyard. I think I want the courtyard. And I want an item in the courtyard. Well, sledgehammer is a thing, but I haven't found any trunks. The shovel would have been nicer. The boiler room. So if I can pick up the boiler room and then be lucky enough to draw the laboratory, I don't know what rooms actually do connections. This is an issue. Let's go for it. Ah, I was better off before. Let's dead end into the lavatory. Which, to the best of my knowledge, has absolutely nothing in it. Got to be the hallway, which I don't think has pipes running through it. So I need to start making a... So for boiler room, which will come after the basement, so boiler room, I need to start making a list of rooms with pipes. Because I don't know what they are. I mean, is it in the room directory somehow? I don't know. Ah. We'll go dark room. Because I can now go back to the utility closet and turn the dark room on. Find the security access card. There's the laboratory, but it's not connected. Let's go to the bunk room. I want to see if there's anything in here I've missed. I don't know what Mr. Hamster is doing. This is pilot and plot. Well, thanks for the steps. This is where we had the book. Today is a good day. More hats. Another checkers set. He's got 2 copies of the Turtle Zavera. So the bunk room has 2 black pawns. But I'm not seeing anything in here. I'm feeling very lost on this, on what to do. I have to admit, I am feeling very lost as to what to do. Having the ability to get some direction, I think, would be nice for me. A false box contains the gems. The black box is true. The black box is false. So, if the black box was true, then this would say a false box contains the gems. So if this was true, so if blue was true, then this would mean a true box contains the gems, but this would be true. And that would be true, and everything would be true. So the black box must be true. So a false box contains the gems. That is true. And because this must be true, blue is where the gems are. Do I want to... No, I don't want to open one of the other boxes. The gymnasium is the only thing that allows me to continue, but I have turned off the lights in the gymnasium, so I shouldn't lose the 2 steps. Where are these other safes? I'm not drawing anything new. I mean, I got the bookshop. But is it literally just play hundreds of hours of the game and hope that you find something new? This doesn't feel... The Mount Holly gift shop is the only thing that really allows me to continue, but I've got no coins. It's about time to visit Mount Holly. So it's about time. Does that mean 1:30 has some significance? I don't know. Eight trophies in your trophy room. I don't even understand. Let's go to her ladyship's chamber, which has a white queen in it, which I've already noted. Does it never end? Note with spiral of barbed wire. Does it never end? Locket with photo of young man. I'm assuming that's the count. It's got another hat. I really love that photo. And her ladyship's diary, which is locked. So unlock her ladyship's diary in her ladyship's chamber. I have a sledgehammer. It's like got an hourglass symbol on the front. Oh. It's just a normal key. I'm feeling very lost. I don't know. Let's grab the mailroom, end the day, because an order has been placed. The letter from Dad. This is what told me the sequence for... And I was able to read that. So it was tub and tube, but I'm not seeing anything else in here that I can interact with. So that's kind of ended my day. So let's call it a day, which means moving my camera out of the way. So I found some new stuff in the basement. I found the hidden room. I found the bookshop. I read a new book. This feels like such slow progress, though. And I found the new shrine. So I found the shrine and I found the bookshop. Ah, I really don't know. I need so much money, though. So you need to find treasure maps, I imagine, to buy some of this stuff. So in order to buy some of the stuff from the bookshop or from the gift shop, you need to find treasure maps. But some of this stuff was like 100 coins. It feels like the incremental in this is not enough. Like there's not enough increment. Like you could literally play hundreds of days and not find the correct combination to get the money. And if you do find the correct combination to get the money, you won't find the bookshop or the gift shop to be able to buy the item you need. Which, I don't know, it just doesn't feel good. So pick up my allowance. And there's supposed to be a special delivery here. There it is. Items included in this order: a brass compass, 2 gems, and 2 keys. Okay. Nice delivery. I wonder if everyone gets the foundation in the same spot. It would make sense that the foundation can only be drawn in that spot. Sorry, I've got chat hidden because I just moved my camera. K Crouch, I don't know. I mean, I've been making lists of what to investigate. In fact, I should actually share. This will require me to reset. My journal is the following link. And for people watching in the future, so you can actually view my journal that I'm keeping. Special floor plans now cost an additional steps instead of gems. I don't have a shovel. Let's try the hovel. See if there's anything in here. My goal at the moment is to make a list of what my goals are. So I said at the start of the stream, things that I want to investigate is what do the chess pieces mean? What were the details in the archives related to? I do have a bookmark on a previous video of the stuff I found in the journals, and I need to go back through that. Can you access the statue in the courtyard? What did the windows in the chapel mean? But I need more info on that, I think. Find and open all the safes is something I want to do. Power and use the machine in the laboratory, but I don't even know what machines have rooms have pipes. How does the candle room work? What were the vault keys? So I found vault keys, but they didn't work in what I thought was the vault downstairs. Light up all of the blue flames, and that's a cool thing because I just noticed that. So I've now got 3 of the blue flames. So I just need to find the 4th. Drain the aquarium, because I noticed that the aquarium was something you could access from the pump room. Get all the books from the bookshop is something I added, because I got the bookshop last time. Is the hats a thing? Unlock her ladyship's diary. I'd forgotten about that. So I'm literally just exploring at the moment. Now there is a note here. Notice of termination. Dear Mr. Ravane, your half-hearted dedication and maintenance of the grounds have been greatly appreciated. However, I regret to inform you that your services as groundskeeper at Mount Holly will no longer be required, effective immediately. This decision has been made after careful consideration and is based on repeated observations and documented instances of neglect in the performance of your duties. The state of the green rooms in particular has deteriorated significantly over the last few months, which reflects poorly on the rest of the staff. You are required to vacate the hovel by the 20th of March, ensuring all tools and equipment belonging to the estate are returned to the tool shed in good condition. Your final wages will be settled promptly upon completion of these instructions. We thank you for your time and service and wish you the best in future endeavours. Anne Babbage, House Manager. So there's nothing here. Ooh. 45 rooms, 2 wings, 9 ranks. 45292. Coincidence. Where is room 46? Tested my full house theory, no luck as expected. 45292. So outside rooms. I want to make a note about outside rooms. So let's just make a note about the hovel. Not hoven, hovel. Which I can absolutely close down. So this will get added to my journal. Hovel, hovel, hovel. So this was one of the outside rooms. And actually I need to open this on the gaming computer, not my note computer. Because I'm going to come here and I'm going to take a print screen of this note. And I am going to put it into my hovel note. Bam. I'm just going to... No. Got much better control here for some reason. It's an outside room. Bam. And it had that note in it. Great. Four 5 2 9 2 coincidence. What would two starting rooms? Two starting rooms. What do you mean by two starting rooms? Well, I do have two starting rooms with the... Well, there's multiple... I don't want too many spoilers, Diamond Wall, but I mean, it's just a standard font. I wouldn't read too much into that, maybe? I don't know. Maybe? Hard to know. Bear traps? But I did get one of the things, and now I'm going to be paying in steps. I don't know. I don't want to... I'm not going to be reading too much into everything, and if that is like, I know this because I've solved this before, I don't know. The dining room will connect that way. It's a little... Yeah, let's keep things open for now. I'm not expecting anything in the dining room. Pretty with the windows there. I'm just going to take some stuff. I did open a blackmail letter, but I'm not going to be remembering typefaces or anything. I think I've got the storeroom in my chess piece thing. I do. I already have that there is a white pawn in the chess piece thing. I don't know. I mean, yeah. So are those pipes on the ceiling? It's hard to know. Like, it doesn't look like there's pipes in the ceiling in here. So it doesn't look like you can use the storeroom to connect up the boiler room. It doesn't look like you can use the dining room to connect up the boiler room. Observatory will loop back. Let's take the den. Now that I don't have the sledgehammer, I fully expect to start finding trunks. I really do wonder if something happens in here when the clock is in those positions. So keeping an eye on the time might be a thing. Dead ending here might not be too bad, so let's get a couple of items from the closet. The running shoes, they really helped me in my final one, but... like, when I got room 46, the running shoes were huge. Secret passage might be cool. I think it's either green or halls, because I've never found this hall. And I'd like to. I'm going to gamble and try for a hall. Bam. Count Isaac Gates. Baron Edwin Sinclair, Ye Ariena, were these the original rulers? Major Nicholas Key the Fourth? What? Baron Thomas Sinclair. Isaac Gates. Is there anagrams going on here? Or something. So we're now in the foyer. So the foyer. And there are 6 statues. There is Count Isaac Gates, Baron Edwin Sinclair, Yi Ari Yenna. That's the one that makes me think that there's something going on with anagrams. Major Nicholas Key the Fourth. Baron Thomas Sinclair. And it's, sorry, there's no H. That's going to be important. Tomas Sinclair. And Lord William Epson. I don't think I've got a Scrabble set in this house for being able to play. I mean, I could just try and use an anagram tool. You know. I don't know. Is it the first letters or something? And does position matter? Epson, Sinclair, ESIYSG. I don't understand. The Corriard's not bad here. Now I don't have the sledgehammer. Of course there's a trunk here. I do have a bunch of keys. I now have even more keys. Trade up. Get some money. It's feeling very much like I'm stuck. Okay, opportunity to own coins and spread coins. So let's do that. Now we know the safe combo. And there was a letter in here that I think had the stamp. Thank you. I can't remember where the letter was that had the stamp. I think I've deleted that note, which is really annoying. I needed to be more careful about that. Run payroll. Spread gold on the estate. Which included right here. Let's try this door. It's got the boiler room. There's a chance the boiler room will hook up, I suppose. I'm burning through steps, though. And it doesn't look like the patio has pipes. This is the problem. And there's nothing in this room. So the boiler room is now completely isolated just by pure random luck. I found a couple of cool things, but I'm really not sure how to progress. In a good or interesting way. Oh, great. Okay, there's more coin. The spread coins throughout the estate wasn't as much as I'd hoped. Now, there is a safe in the study, I think, which I haven't opened yet. So let's go into the study. So the study has a chess piece, which is the Black Queen. There's a key here. I don't know if it's possible with so little time left, but I need to remember to ask Anne if we can commission artwork for all the rooms in the house. Pulled off by Thursday. Do I know what date day 1 was? So what's the date? So it's probably the date that I started that's the date of this. But I don't... All of the others have had dates from the room. Can I identify what room that is? That's the den, isn't it? No. That's looks like the dining room. So the Black Queen, which is this room, is D8. And we're in the study. D8, study is D8. So study, the Black Queen is D8. So the White Queen, which I think we've found, would be D1. How is this helping? I am going to switch back to this. Go to the chess pieces in rooms. And I'm going to put a screenshot. It's not letting me. What just happened then? That took a really weird screenshot. I'm going to try and do that again. Why is that taking a photo negative screenshot? What is going on? Why is my print screen tool broken all of a sudden? I mean, it's fine, but why is it doing that? I don't know what's going on. But there's a safe in here. And I don't remember what date the game started on. But I'll... Was it September the 2nd? So 028 0902? No. November 6th was the staff notice. So this is November. So what would the date be? What would the date be? Is it something I can get from this room? I've noted a lot of dates, but I haven't... There's a bunch of stuff we found in the locker room, but I don't know what any of that was. Seventh of November was a date that was listed as the start. No, okay. Another important date that was listed as June 15th, but just trying all the dates that have been listed, they've all been room related. So what's a date in this room? Glove Love, G T D R N. No. I'm wondering if the unused pairings is supposed to be a message. Glove Love, G, Sting, Sing is T, Crowd and Crow is D, R, N. So we're in the study. Study. It has a safe feel like I'm really lost here. Has a safe. Message with unused pairings. Glove and love, sting and sing, crowd and crow, groan and gown, snack and sack. So it's G, T, D, R, N. Not seeing what to do with that. How am I going to find a date in this room? The only thing I see, so little time left. All the rooms of the house. New artwork for all the rooms of the house. I get that, and that's what's giving me the hint for the dates. Because the art message was, if we count small gates, 8 dates crack 8 safes. So we're looking for a date. Coat, cat, cold, old, sturdy, study. Craft and raft. Is C. Draft and raft is D. Smile is S. Vile and viral is R. Coat and cat is O. Cold and old is C. Sturdy and study is R. CDSROCR. Craft raft. Beard and bard is E. So C, D, S, R, O, C, R, and E. How is that helping me? Craft raft, draft raft, smile, mile, vile, viral. This is the hint to how to do the board clue. It doesn't tell me how to open the safe. How do I open the safe? This one is breaking my brain. Is this where the chess puzzle comes in? So, if we look at the chess pieces in rooms, I don't know why the screenshot isn't working. So, and I'm going to say this was found in the study. Found in the study was the chessboard with this. So D8, of course, is the black queen. So does that mean I can position them to form... How would I use the chess pieces to be positioned to form words? So I found a white rook in the reading nook. It's the only one I've found. So do I use the letters of the words? And then the white knight, I've only found one, which is in the observatory. So RO. So this is something to explore. RO. And then white bishop. I've only found one in the chapel. White king. It's possible there was one in the office, but I should have checked. But then there's white queen, which is either her ladyship's chamber, which doesn't make sense, or there's also a white queen potentially in the office. This is not working. Then we've got C, O, and R again. This is not working. And the white pawns are the bedroom, the den, the dining room, the drawing room, the guest bedroom, the storeroom. This is not working. So it's not that. So I did find the thing in the hovel. I mean, it can't be that. Because that's not a date. I mean, there's a bunch of dates I found, but 1101, 1008, which was when the email was about the... and then there was 1007, which was the original email, and then there was 1005. American date systems annoy me. And then there, in the archives, there were a whole bunch of dates, but why would any of these be relevant? August, which is January 27, November 11, November 17, February 21, and September 2nd. None of this... So, I have to admit, I'm starting to not enjoy this because there's no... When you've got an open thing to discover, to find with no direction, and even if you want to explore something, you could play for 10 hours without actually being able to explore it. And it's like, we hide a clue behind the boiler room being connected to this, but in order to do that connection, you may need to play for 20 hours to draft the rooms in the right order. That's not fun. So a lot of these mysteries where it's like a case of, I don't even know if it's solvable. doesn't give me a sense of achievement when I try and fulfill it, because I don't know if these mysteries are solvable. The date that needs to be used on this safe may not be something that appears in my game, ever. So, because it may require me to connect two rooms in a random draft drawer that may never connect those two rooms. So I'm very much starting to feel like, what's the point? Like, I really love the depth of the mysteries, but the fact that I don't know what the mysteries are, and I may never have an opportunity to even try and solve them because I may just randomly be locked out of a mystery. So I may be completely focused on the right thing, but it may never give me the actual information I need, but it won't tell me that. And the fact that all of the other rooms with safes have had the solution in the room, or so far, and what the heck does that mean? Does it always line up on similar positions? No, it seems to be almost random, doesn't it? No, the compass has a built-in effect. It just, you draw floor plans that point north more common. And there's something down there, but it's not modified by where the globe spins. So there may be a solution to this, but it may be something that... So you could spend an hour trying to figure this out. And we know it's dates, so we know that there's a limited number of combinations. There's only, what is it, 365 combinations. You get to the point where you just want to try them all or look up an answer, because what is the solution to the mystery? But I can't see how to extract a date from any of this. And he does say all of the rooms of the house, but not all of the rooms of the house have artwork. I mean, the interesting thing in here is D8 is date. D8, date. So the chessboard is saying that there's a date here. D8, date, D8. But what? The date? How is the chessboard a date? It's telling me this is the date, D8. The Black Queen is the date. Maybe. Nope. Yeah, I know, K Crunch, that how I've solved the art puzzle. I mean, the shadow is falling is on 0804, but that's a bit crap. Worth a try. Well done, Kana. Well done. And this is letter 2. So I should put a note. I forgot to do the start of day 22. The reading of letter 2 is at 2 hours. Holy cow. December the 8th. Me, or M. Be prepared for our plans to be set in motion in a month or two. It's all lining up, and all our hard work is about to come to fruition. I have just learned that several members of the museum's guard are sympathetic to our cause. We suspect 2 more to be pure opportunists whose loyalty extends only to their coin purse. Your uncle has already agreed to let us use Mount Holly's flexible floor pan for a trial run, assuming the red print we have secured of the museum's closed exhibit is in fact accurate and up to date. Red print? Okay. We should begin these trials without delay once you arrive. if you can, within the next 2 months, fabricate some fiction that might alleviate some of the presence of the servant staff. Until we meet on the shore of the White Sands. Caleb. Closed exhibit. You found a secret floor plan. Would you permanently close exhibit to your drafting pool? Yes, please. Well done, Kana. Okay, so now I'm going to try and head back up to probably the patio. I'm running low on steps. Yeah, that's what I thought. Red print versus blueprint. Which is fine because it's found floor plans, the closed exhibit. So let's see if I can make it back to, especially considering I just wasted some steps. Still don't know what's going on in here. Pluralize and homophone? What? What, blueprint and blueprints? This is costing me so many steps. I'm kind of just hoping I find an upgrade disc in here or something. I didn't. There are 2 coins I missed. I do have the security card. Yay. Step was saved. I do want to know what's going on with the artwork here. Like farmer, chef, gardener, chimney sweep, maid, rider, king? So is it pawn? Pawn? Oh, cook to rook. How is that? But how would that be? How would maid work as... Well, blueprints is a homophone of blueprints. We know that. Now, I think I noted this in the thing of the chapel in the original play. I've got the wrong formatting on this. So I want to grab... Where's my chapel notes? I want to grab these notes, paste them into here. And then I want to update heading 3 to match. Oh, okay. Heading 3. Heading 3 for the boiler room. Heading 3 for the basement. Heading 3 for the foyer. Heading 3 for the hovel. Keeping my notes is kind of important. This is just kind of not working. So what I've got for the chapel: hose/farmer, or oak or club, baker or cook, rake, farmer, chimney sweep, maid, equestrian or rider, and then king or queen, possibly knight, but it looks like king or queen to me. Anyway, let's go. Let's try and go this way. I'm running low on steps. Is there anything in here? There is a gem, and this is where the Red Prince book is, which has not changed. Is there anything I can see in the artwork that is new? No, and we've had the full reading of the Red Prince, so I don't think that helps me. North from the chapel would be good, because it is the last set of art that we've not seen. Let's take the freezer, because this will lock it, but give me 10 gems and 15 coins for my next run. Bam! But this is the last piece of art that I'd never seen, which was 9.5. Column 5, this is the last one I hadn't seen. And so it's the hand painting, oops, world and a crate. So we know it's going to end up as E. So the letter difference expected is E. Planet. No, it can't be planet. Crate and... No. Okay, nice one. So we've now got all of the art differences. So that is a completely solved mystery. So the art difference is done. The study is done. So we've done 4 of the safe locations. We've done the boudoir, the office, the study, and the small gate in the orchard. We've locked in this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't have any more steps to get anywhere. I think that's me done. So we call it a day, which means moving my camera out of the way. Not far enough. So we used the hovel, which is what burnt through all my steps. So we found the foyer for the first time. Unfortunately, we didn't then find any big halls to have the rooms unlocked. But we found the foyer, and we found those statues, and it's possible that those are anagrams or anything. I might investigate that one. We were able to lock away a whole heap of keys, coins and gems, so that's good. So finishing in the freezer was really, really useful. We were able to unlock the study safe. I think that's about it for this run through. Oh, and we were able to increase our star count by 1. So this wasn't too bad. But the game has really slowed down to a point where it's feeling a little frustrating. But 2 hours is 2.25 hours is kind of enough for me for now. I think I'm done on this session. And this is not going to be something I return to as much as I did before I hit room 46. I do want to finish RoboCop, and there's a couple of other things. There's been something that's been calling to me, but I don't want to say anything right now. There's a bunch of games on my to playlist that I want to play, but there's been something that's been pulling me back, and it's dangerous. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed this session. I know there's been a few people who've been watching me play this who don't want to comment for various reasons, and I would like to thank those people because I've been getting comments via through Fell from people who've been watching. So thank you. Thank you to everyone who jumped in and commented. Please remember, like, and if you are watching, please subscribe, because I am trying to get this channel to at least 500 because I really enjoy this channel. It is honestly, I'm loving doing stuff on this channel. It's meaning so much to me. But I've spent the last week doing a major project over on Bremster Puzzles, and that should be dropping very, very, very soon. But that's taken about 20 hours of work in the last 3 days, so I've been flat out on that one. Thanks everyone. I hope you've enjoyed this session of Blueprints. There will be more coming, but it will not be at the same rate, because this game, while I'm fascinated by it, it's not feeding me enough to make me want to do it, because it's locking stuff away in a way that it's just making me go, yeah, I'm uncomfortable. It's like you see something and then it turns around and says you can't have that, and it's doing it in enough of a way that the draw is not there. So I need to find ways of dealing with that. They have released some patches to try and sort of play with frequency and rooms and stuff. So I might do another. I'm on a week-long break, so I'll probably do a couple more sessions, but I do want to play some other things as well. Like Last Epoch just started its 2nd season. I'm not even looking at that yet. That'll be a while away. Thanks everyone. I hope you had fun. And as always, good luck drafting the right rooms for your dreams. Bye everyone.